At today's U.S. Baltic Centennial Summit, we're inaugurating 100 years of renewed partnership among our nations, grounded once more in our shared commitment to independent sovereignty and a total respect of the rule of law. This afternoon, we will discuss our cooperation on a range of issues, including expanding bilateral trade and investment. And I know you're making a lot of investment in our country. You're buying a lot of military equipment from the United States. And we make the best military equipment in the world by far, whether it's missiles or planes or anything else. So we appreciate that. And we're also going to be promoting joint security initiatives. I especially want to commend the Baltic nations on meeting their defense spending obligations this year for NATO. Unlike some of the other countries, frankly, that haven't met their obligations, but they will. We have a tremendous amount more, and I will take credit for this, and you've given me credit for this, a lot more money coming into NATO because of my initiative. I said, you have to pay. A lot of years they weren't paying. They were delinquent, and now they're paying. So NATO has taken in a lot more money than it ever did before. And ultimately, it'll be at least $33 billion more over a short period of time. That's a lot of money, big difference. It's a privilege to host all of you at the White House for this historic summit, and I look forward to getting to know you better. And we're going to be meeting with your representatives throughout the day and throughout the days, and we're going to have a very long and strong relationship. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Stock market volatility.
I have to say this, China. I have great respect for President Xi. Two of the most incredible days of my life were spent in China. Many of you were with me. He's a tremendous person. But we have a problem with China. They've created a trade deficit, and I really blame our representatives and, frankly, our preceding presidents for this. They have a trade deficit of $500 billion a year. It's not something we can live with. So we'll be working with China. We'll be negotiating with China. Again, our relationship is very good with China, and we intend to keep it that way. But we have to do something to seriously relieve that trade deficit. We can't have a $500 billion a year trade deficit. We also have the theft of intellectual property, and that probably is in the neighborhood of $200 to $300 billion a year. So whether we like it or not, we have a great stock market. We have a very, very powerful country. We have our country militarily, as you know, presidents. We have just received $700 billion. Our military will be stronger than ever before, but we have to do something on trade with certain countries. And obviously, China is the leader in terms of deficits. We've never had a situation where a country, and nor has there ever been in history a situation where a country has done that to another country. We've helped rebuild China over the last 25 years. If you take a look at what's happened, we have helped rebuild China. So we intend to get along with China, but we have to do something very substantial about the trade deficit. And with that, nothing is easy. I campaigned on that. I talked about that. China won't be the only country, but I did, in fact, campaign on it. Mexico, if you look at the caravan of thousands of people coming across, I told Mexico, look, you have a cash cow in NAFTA. NAFTA has been great for Mexico, has not been good for the United States. A lot of businesses have closed down because of NAFTA. You look at empty plants all over the place, and this is from years ago. They still haven't recovered. NAFTA has been a terrible deal for the United States. We're renegotiating the deal right now, but it'll still be good for Mexico and for Canada. And when this caravan came in, and this is a caravan of a lot of people coming in this case from Honduras, if it reaches our border, our laws are so weak and so pathetic, you would not understand this, because I know how strong your laws are at the border. It's like we have no border, because we had Obama make changes, President Obama made changes that basically created no border. It's called catch and release. You catch them, you register them, they go into our country. We can't throw them out. And in many cases, they shouldn't be here. Many cases, they shouldn't be here. And after they get whatever happens over the next 2 or 3 years, they're supposed to come back to court. Almost nobody comes back to court. They're in our country. And we can't do anything about it because the laws that were created by Democrats are so pathetic and so weak. So I told Mexico, and I respect what they did, I said, look, your laws are very powerful. Your laws are very strong. We have very bad laws for our border. And we are going to be doing some things. I've been speaking with General Mattis. We're going to be doing things militarily. Until we can have a wall and proper security, we're going to be guarding our border with the military. That's a big step. We really haven't done that before, or certainly not very much before. But we will be doing things with Mexico, and they have to do it. Otherwise, I'm not going to do the NAFTA deal. NAFTA's been fantastic for Mexico, bad for us. We've had our car plants move to Mexico, many of them. We make tremendous numbers, millions of cars in Mexico that years ago didn't exist. They closed in Michigan, they closed in Ohio, they closed in other places. Now they're starting to move back because of what we've done with regulation and with taxes. They're starting to come back into our country in a big way. But I told Mexico very strongly, you're going to have to do something about these caravans that are coming up. And I just noticed that the caravan now, which is toward the middle of Mexico, coming up from Honduras, is breaking up very rapidly. That's because Mexico has very strong immigration laws, as we should have. We should have those laws. We don't have. We have immigration laws that are laughed at by everybody. And it's got to be changed. We need the wall, we need the protection, and we have to change our immigration laws at the border and elsewhere. So Mexico has, at this moment, it seems they've broken up large numbers of that particular caravan, and we'll see what happens. But we're prepared at our border. We cannot have people flowing into our country illegally, disappearing, and by the way, never showing up to court. So the court case will be set for 2 years or 3 years, if you can believe this. And they never show up. For the most part, very rarely do they show up. Plus, if you notice, they're trying to hire thousands of judges. So every person that walks across, and they're taught to say the right thing, they walk across, and then they go, and they're supposed to go to court. So we're supposed to have thousands of judges because we cannot have them taken out. We have to bring them before a ridiculous court system. We have to change our policies fast, just like we have to change on sanctuary cities. If you look at what's happening in California, they're having revolts out there because there are a lot of areas, Orange County and others, they don't want to have sanctuary cities, which are guarding criminals. So a lot of things are changing, but I have just heard that the caravan coming up from Honduras is broken up, and Mexico did that. And they did it because, frankly, I said, you really have to do it. We're going to have a relationship on NAFTA. We're going to have to include security in NAFTA. So Mexico, very strong laws, and that's the way it is. So it looks like it's been broken up. So that'll be good. Okay, thank you all very much. No, the caravan doesn't irritate me. The caravan makes me very sad that this can happen to the United States, where you have thousands of people that decide to just walk into our country, and we don't have any laws that can protect it. And the wall, because of the Democrats, has been delayed. We've started the wall, just so you understand. We have $1.6 billion. We're fixing and building brand new walls in certain areas, and we're doing a lot of work on walls. We have $1.6 billion, and we're starting brand new sections of walls. But we need to have a wall that's about 800 miles, 700 to 800 miles of the 2,000-mile stretch. We have a lot of natural boundaries. But it's very sad to see it. And it's sad even from both sides. It's sad for the people in the caravan, and it's sad for the people of the United States. It's really sad that we don't have laws that say we have a border, and if you don't do it legally, you can't come into the United States. To me, that's a very sad thing for the people of the United States. Thank you all very much.